Next on ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend, breaking news overnight about a serious rollover on the east side, leaving one person dead on the scene. The first family making a tour of our nation's national parks, including one right near the borderland. And scorching temperatures searing the region, with dangerous highs and very dry conditions expected for the weekend. And a storm track weather, Iris.
An ABC7 first alert was issued last week, and we issued it because of that heat. I'll let you know more details, what you can expect coming up.
It's all the news you need to start your Saturday, June 18th. ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend starts right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend.
Well, good morning, El Paso, and thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew J. Polk. Starting with some breaking news, one person is dead after an early morning rollover. It all happened around 2:30 this morning at the intersection of Zaragoza and George Dieter. Special traffic investigators from the El Paso Police Department still on the scene right now, looking into what caused that one vehicle rollover. And police have just confirmed to ABC7 that one person died at the scene, and there may have been two others ejected from the vehicle and taken to a local hospital in critical condition. As you can see from the video, the vehicle rolled several times before coming to a stop on northbound Zaragoza in front of a car dealership. We're still working to get more details, and we'll update you as soon as we get more information throughout this newscast and on KVIA.com. And this is a live look at the intersection. Right now you can see that car still on the scene, and the traffic investigators still looking to clear this. Again, it's been shut down for about 6 hours now, just under. And you can see that there are still going to be problems there. That intersection is still shut down. You're going to have to get around it if you had anywhere near there this morning. And scorching hot temperatures are expected this weekend, and today is supposed to be the worst. The borderland and other western areas of the country are under a heat advisory. It was out by a scout update like yesterday, where we saw about a dozen people who were out fishing, but today prepare for dangerously hot temperatures and dry conditions. All this week, make sure to check on elderly people you may know and bring your pets inside during the day if possible, or at least make sure they have shade and water. So getting straight to our Storm Track net weather now with Storm Tracker Iris Lopez. Good morning, Iris.
Good morning, Andrew. Good morning to you all. It is Saturday, and it's going to be a hot Saturday, a hot weekend. All in all, if you don't like the heat, I apologize way in advance. Heat advisory, as mentioned, we are under that heat advisory until today, 8 p.m. The cities, Alamogordo here in El Paso, Las Cruces, and Socorro, pretty much all across the region, you can see that orange area is where the heat advisory is mainly issued. Now, our current temperatures right now in El Paso, we are at 76, already warming up, already almost in that 80 mark, and it is not even 9 o'clock yet. Winds picking up north, 13 miles per hour, calm winds for Las Cruces. You were in those 60s an hour ago. Now you were jumping up to those 70s. 76 is what you can expect if you're heading out early this morning. So that heat advisory is because of these triple digits. We are under our first heat wave of the season. 106 is our expected high. We will reach that by 4 o'clock. And our threat tracker for today, of course, we have that heat in the high category, wind and rain in the low category, because we're not really going to be talking about that. It's that heat that we're talking about. I'll have your sunburn forecast, all that and more coming up. Andrew?
All right, thanks, Iris. Check back in just a bit. In the meantime, though, that heat is not helping as wildfires continue to spread. 3 western states are battling fires, one declaring a local emergency. In California, the Sherpa fire has already burned 4,000 acres in Santa Barbara County and is only 5% contained. About 140 homes and ranches are at risk. Officials say the wildfire has already destroyed a water treatment plant and damaged crops. California is dealing with a 5th year of drought conditions.
During the night, these winds are blowing out to the ocean, but during the day they shift and start blowing uphill. And the different direction that we've been fighting all night, it goes the opposite in the morning, so now you got to change tactics.
And in New Mexico, fire is forcing evacuations near the mountains southeast of Albuquerque and in east central Arizona. The Cedar Creek fire continues to rip through rugged terrain there, and the firefight will continue to be difficult in the next few days, as forecasters say a heat wave is headed for the overall region this weekend. And the presidential family is out of the White House for this Father's Day weekend. Yesterday, they took a tour of Carlsbad Caverns. The Metro Mobile Newsroom was there as people lined the streets to wave to the first family. They arrived on Air Force One in Roswell, then were flown by a helicopter to Carlsbad on Marine One. Motorcaded, as you've seen there, started with 2 police motorcycles, 2 police units. followed by 7 presidential SUVs and more than a dozen other patrol units, including an ambulance. Security increased inside the visitor center of Carlsbad Caverns. Secret Service agents were at the entrance checking guests as they walked inside. Some families waited for hours in the scorching heat, hoping to catch a glimpse of the president. Then the Obamas went 800 feet into the ground and explored the caverns. The visit was meant to draw public attention to America's national parks. It comes as the department nears its 100th birthday in August. Obama called the caverns cool and spectacular. The caverns are just about 2.5-hour drive northeast of El Paso. The city closest to them is Carlsbad, another 20-minute drive. It has a population of just under 28,000 people. ABC7's Josie Ortegon was there with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom.
The road to the caverns and the park are now open and all is back to normal in Carlsbad, New Mexico. But for one day, the small town was a stop on President Obama's agenda, marking the first family's Father's Day vacation. The president's trip to Carlsbad Caverns National Park, not just a vacation, but raising awareness about our nation's national parks and forests.
The folks in Carlsbad community, they really love the park being here.
Before his arrival, families packed the National Park's visitor center.
You know, we would have loved to have actually seen him, but since we can't see him, at least we can say we were here on the same day that he was.
Security also increased inside the visitor center at Carlsbad Caverns in preparation for President Obama's visit. Secret Service agents out front checking guests as they come in.
We had no idea. We are lucky that we're able to still go in because we were thinking that we wouldn't be able to make it maybe.
Others not so lucky as the park shut down to visitors at 11.
We weren't told about this.
President Obama's visit also highlighting the economic boost parks provide. Carlsbad Caverns draws 400,000 visitors to the community each year, bringing in revenue to local businesses, including families who waited for hours in the scorching heat, hoping to catch a glimpse of the president.
We got up at 4:30.
When the moment arrived, pure joy.
We were coming here today and we found out that President Obama was coming, so we've hung on and just waited for the motorcade to go past.
Occasion, isn't it? We'll never see it again.
Families stuck around even as the first family toured the caverns just to catch a glimpse again of the presidential motorcade.
We knew he passed through and we're excited that he's here in New Mexico.
The president and the first family will be in California this week, where they will tour Yosemite National Park. In Carlsbad with our New Mexico Mobile Newsroom, Josie Ortegon, ABC7.
And right after their visit, the Obamas flew to California. Today, the first family is visiting Yosemite National Park. Air Force One arrived in Castle Airport yesterday evening. The president is expected to deliver remarks on the importance of national parks later on today. And funerals and memorials will continue today for some of the 49 victims who died in the mass shooting inside an Orlando nightclub. In the midst of that terror, we're told that the killer, Omar Mateen, texted his wife, Noor, asking if she'd seen the news, both expressing their love for each other. Now, the former neighbor of Mateen is speaking out, saying although they never had close contact with Mateen and his wife, they often kept to themselves.
At that time, he seemed to be a loner, you know. I never saw him with any friends from school over at the house. He never went anywhere. He just kind of hung around in the neighborhood. He was very antagonizing.
It's still unclear what was said between Mateen and his wife, whether she knew about his murderous rampage. She and Mateen's father are now on the no-fly list. And it's been 1 year since another horrific mass shooting, this one at a church in Charleston, South Carolina. Yesterday was the 1-year anniversary. Emmanuel AME Church is hosting several events this weekend. 9 churchgoers, all black, were shot by a white man who walked into the church, joined a Bible study, and then opened fire. Yesterday, South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley spoke at a church service in memory of the victims.
So June 17, 2015. It's a day we'll never forget. It's a day I got a text message from my chief of staff. It's a day that I got on the phone with my chief of SLED. He said there had been a shooting at a church and that it didn't look good. And he said, and you need to know, this is Senator Pinckney's church.
The shooter, Dylan Roof, was allegedly trying to start a race war. Back in the borderland, police are asking for your help finding the driver who may have struck a pedestrian on I-10 Thursday night. The pedestrian is a man believed to be in his 20s, an undocumented immigrant. Police say he was struck by at least 4 vehicles while trying to cross I-10 near Porfirio Diaz around 10 Thursday night. The crash had police closing the freeway for about 9 hours until 7 Friday morning. Both police and the Border Patrol are involved in the investigation. Police explained why the freeway had to be closed for so long.
It's a crime scene, and potentially it could be a homicide investigation. Regardless, we're still investigating the death of an individual, and it's going to take time. It's time consuming. It's a painstaking process. It's very methodical, and in this case, the scene is very, very large scene.
And if you witnessed the incident or were involved, police are asking that you give them a call. And the Border Patrol, who's assisting the investigation, have arrested 2 men around the same time and close to where the man died. ABC7's Julio Cesar Chavez went to the border fence to see how people are crossing.
In the past, there were probably people almost, every day.
Business owners along the border say before they had the big border fence, undocumented immigrants would go through regularly. One explaining people who jumped across overnight would hide out near their containers.
Or over there until we were able to, until we came in the morning and unlocked the door, the gate, and then they would run out.
But with the fence installed 2 years ago, the difference has been night and day.
It's been cut dramatically. I've seen 1 or 2 people running across, but that's about it.
Although the fence is one of the biggest tools in the Border Patrol's belt, it's not the only one. Agents say their job requires a combination of resources.
We also have sensors along with that, and we also have cameras. We have surveillance.
Surveillance tools that help them know where people are crossing over. Each tool buying agents vital time.
We literally have seconds to minutes to make an apprehension if someone does come in illegally.
In areas with gaps like this one close to the Chihuahuita neighborhood in downtown El Paso, agents say manpower is key.
We have Border Patrol agents here in the urban environment. You're going to have agents that are positioned a lot closer than you would have versus a more rural environment.
As to just how many people cross the border without getting caught, agents say we can't just tell since you can't count the people you don't have. Julio Cesar Chavez, ABC7.
Don't forget to pick up your copy of the El Paso Inc. This week, only in El Paso Inc. Find out about the very first tenant moving into the new Cardwell Collaborative Research Building and how they plan to hire local scientists. Also, why small businesses need to start planning for the new overtime rules now, even though they don't start until December. And what a national burger and fries place likes about El Paso as it expands in the Sun City. El Paso Inc. is online at KVIA.com and available for home and business delivery. Call the number there at the bottom of your screen, 534-4422, to subscribe. Imagine studying rigorously for a major test, only to find out you'll have to take it again. That's what dozens of students are forced to do this weekend. Only on ABC7, we spoke to James Tift, whose granddaughter found out on Tuesday the SAT exams she took 2 weeks ago are now thrown out. Tift told ABC7 that his granddaughter, an incoming senior at Coronado High School, wasn't given a reason why she had to retake the test, only a makeup date.
She studied very hard for the test and worked hard and took it and thought it was over. As smart as they're supposed to be, it seemed like they would know what test they're giving.
ABC7 reached out to find out why the test was being discarded. The district said the College Board was behind the administering of the test that weekend. The College Board spokeswoman told ABC7 in a statement that reads in part, some May test materials arrived after test day. The late delivery date caused confusion, and those materials were mistakenly used during the June administration. As a result, June exams cannot be scored. Students will receive scores from the makeup administration in time for early college application deadlines. So instead, Mr. Tift's granddaughter and the others involved are starting over, taking the test again. And children in the Socorro School District will soon get an early start in education for free. The district announced it will start providing free half-day universal pre-kindergarten for all students. This now includes children who do not meet state requirements for free pre-K. We got a chance to visit a school that will be one of several that will be home to campuses for pre-K students. The children at Mission Ridge will learn more than numbers in their ABCs.
Aside from the academic, the math, the reading, the letters, and the numbers, they're going to have experiences with the social development areas. There's a curriculum that our district does follow. It trains our teachers with a lot of professional development to make sure that all those emotional academic needs are met for our students.
Keep in mind that it's only for a half day. For a full day of pre-K, parents can pay tuition for the other half, about $180 per month. If your child qualifies for Head Start, they will get a full day of early childhood education. And another music festival is hitting the streets of downtown El Paso, but are recent events affecting festival goers. Coming up, the security measures enforced to keep everyone safe during the two-day music fest. And later on, as the investigation continues into the gay nightclub massacre, officials are now looking into the weeks that led up to the shooting, what investigators say shows the gunman was preparing to die. Time now, 8:15, taking a live look at traffic this morning. This is that intersection still shut down. Zaragoza and George Dieter. You can still see the car there in place. The special traffic investigators are still looking into what caused that one car rollover that has left at least one person dead this morning. Otherwise, roads looking clear elsewhere, though this intersection, again, still shut down. In a Storm Track weather, Iris.
That heat advisory is still in place. We'll talk more about when you can expect the heat and when you can expect it to calm down coming up.
Watching ABC 7, where news comes first.